Well, hello. How are you today? I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thanks for joining me. My name's Campbell, and this is Autodidactic. And of course, autodidactic means to be self-educated. And that's what we do here. We check out what's going on in the strange world, or at least what they want us to believe is going on with all this stuff they give us through the 2D world. And we make come to our own conclusions. We make our own decisions. Okay, so do not believe anything I say. Do not believe anything you hear on the videos. This is all for entertainment, right? But yeah, get your own information, make your own decision, and come to your own conclusions. Let's get into it.
This is insane. This kid right here got the first ever non-blurry alien footage. I'm telling you, this is some crap. But first, the news is at it again. They are airing a football type UFO thing on the news. You know what it means when they're reporting on something, right? Everyone's trying to say it's Project BB, right? Well, the news says that as well. So obviously they want you to think they're holograms. Wonder why. We'll get right back to the guy's footage in a second, and we'll also go over what I believe they are.
It's not weird, but I just had something pass underneath my wing, maybe.
It's just amazing that it's happening at the time of the Dior bags, which are still in the sky, just no one talks about them no more. Now what you really want to see.
So the alien, and I recorded it on my TV with a tripod because I recorded on that camera, and I can't get off this.
This is just the first clip, but wait till you see the second clip when it's out in the open and super tall.
Can you come out of the grass?
Notice how it ran away when he was talking to it. It's right here. He's about to zoom in so you can see it better. And it matches the description of everyone who's been abducted.
Crap. What do you want?
Pretty bizarre stuff.
Yeah, and pretty blurry too. Jeez. He said the first non-blur. I thought we were going to get a good actual image, right, of an alien. But of course we never do. We never do. They're all black and white. They look like they're filmed on potatoes. They're, short little clips. I mean, nothing ever that looks anywhere near realistic, right? Which kind of lets us know that if they start coming out now, it's probably AI. But, Project BB, what do you think? Are they still pushing this? They're definitely pushing the alien agenda with all the whistleblowers and everything coming out and all this sort of background talk. But I have noticed that Three-Eyed Atlas, Three-Eye Atlas has disappeared. What happened to Three-Eye Atlas? It was supposed to be a spaceship. It was supposed to land on Earth. It was supposed to be bringing all this stuff. Once again, nothing happened. Have you noticed this? The propaganda, we're always fed these stories. It's always got fear tied to it. And nothing ever happens. Because it's all a show, guys. It's all a movie, in my opinion. But please let me know your opinions in the comments.
This guy was detained in Antarctica immediately after landing his plane. His name is Ethan Guo. He dreamed of visiting every continent on Earth and officially recording the achievement as a world record. However, during his final flight, everything suddenly went terribly wrong. At one point, he abruptly stopped responding to air traffic control and changed his course on his own, heading deep into the interior of the Antarctic continent. What happened next was watched live by viewers, and it left them stunned. In just 11 short videos, his account gained over 8 million followers. During the flight, he showed strange silhouettes beyond what he called the ice wall, objects that suspiciously resembled modern buildings, as if buried beneath layers of ancient ice. Later, the footage appeared to show structures resembling secret military facilities that had never been officially acknowledged. But when he finally landed deep in Antarctica, his camera captured something no one could explain. A second later, the live stream abruptly cut out. More than 6 months have passed since then, and no new videos have appeared on his account. According to unconfirmed reports, he is still being held somewhere in Antarctica. If you want to see what he managed to record for yourself, try searching World Beyond Antarctica on TikTok and draw your own conclusions about what he may have discovered.
The ice wall, and again, no clear pictures. All the pictures in that, the plane they showed, even that wasn't his plane. And all these generated pictures, and there's a lot of them out there, right? Civilization beyond the ice wall. One big problem I have is they're all butted up against the ice wall. Like that doesn't make sense. If they're next to the ice wall, like what are they doing there? Why wouldn't they be in warmer climates where it's a bit easier to live? But it is an interesting story. That's true, right? That guy, I think we all, probably saw him when he got arrested for apparently landing illegally in Antarctica. I think it was Chile that got him and confiscated all his, data, all his telemetry details, all that kind of stuff. And then the dude disappeared. He was raising money for cancer, they say. Not that I believe in cancer, but at least he was trying to do the right thing. So what do you think happened? Do you think he found something and that's why he got arrested? And now they're making sure that he does not talk, maybe growing his clone, who knows? Or do you think it's just all more propaganda, more stuff put out that doesn't give us any info really, right? But gives us questions, and all sort of pointing towards things. Because I still believe, we know who owns the media, and that includes the internet and all the socials. It's the same people, right? Those ones who wear the small hats. They're always messing with us. They're always trying to get us to focus on things that don't really matter, that are fear-based, and it's always just propaganda. And like I said before, like none of this stuff ever happens, right? Aliens have been coming for 70 years, right? And space isn't even real. So, but let me know, like, what do you think? Are aliens real? If so, where are they coming from? Do you believe in space aliens? That they've come, thousands of light years just to crash on Earth? Or do you think they're beyond the ice wall? And if so, how does that work? If we've got a dome, do you think there's a dome? If we've got a dome, then how do you get beyond the ice wall? Because that's another thing with all these videos is there's no dome, right? There's no firmament. They just go over the ice wall and say, look, civilizations. But it's still, I'm not saying it's not true at all. I still think that there's a good possibility of that. They would have to be going under the ice wall, I would think, right? And is that why there's a big narrative now about USOs and aliens in the ocean? By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, I've done 6 podcasts on aliens from the ocean. Link below, Tartaria Australia. But what do you think's going on? Do you think this is just all distraction? Distraction, propaganda and fear, just to keep us focused on everything but ourselves and everything outside of us, nothing inside, on all the crap and the war and all this stuff that the elites do to stop us focusing on solutions. What do you think? Because it's getting crazy out there. Oh, and by the way, yes, I have a zit. Don't judge me.
Was Japan bombed during World War II to hide traces of old world Tartarian buildings and structures? We all know or can look up the official reason for World War II, but was the destruction and therefore covering up of old world technology at least an ulterior motive? After all, was it really necessary to lay waste to entire cities towards the end of the war when it was almost already won? You can see that similar to Germany, Japan looked better prior to the war than it does today, even with so-called modern technology. And while there's theories that nuclear weapons aren't quite what we're told they are, that doesn't change the fact that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were completely leveled. Not to mention even more damage was done to Tokyo due to persistent carpet bombing. It was such overkill it seems it was about more than just winning a war. And as well as depopulation, was about cleansing the earth of an advanced civilization that existed before us.
Tartaria, one of my favorite subjects. History, that's the Tartaria. This is why I like alternative history, is because we can look around, right? We can touch these buildings, we can see them, we can see the destruction, so we can prove it, right? To a point. Obviously, we can't go there. We can't prove exactly what was happening and how it functioned and what kind of free energy they had, but we've got information. Whereas most of the other narratives we get fed, there's not really much proof that we can point our fingers at, right? And really call proof, right? Evidence. It's normally just stories, but Japan's an interesting one because it's kind of like Australia, but even closer because the story we get is Japan was closed, right? No Westerners, no technology. It was a feudal Japanese society until the 1840s, where basically the Americans, the US went and forced them to open up their ports, right, and trade. So we're talking 1840s, right? Pretty much 100 years later, right? WW2, and they leveled it all. So they want us to believe that in 100 years, these people went from a feudal system, basically all their buildings were wood, right? Rice paper windows, bamboo, no bricks, mortar, stone, any of this, right? But in 100 years, they built whole cities out of bricks, out of stone, right? And then they went and destroyed them all. Of course, right? During the war. So that's just a silly narrative, right? It really is. Like, and you can check Japan out. Like, check out some of the train stations there. It's full on what we would call Tartaria. It's old world, the same stuff we find everywhere. So again, they're trying to cover it up. And then, of course, we had the A bombs, right? Dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. They also destroyed Tokyo, right, with fire bombs. And if you look at the pictures of Tokyo compared to Hiroshima or Nagasaki, they look the same. So it's a big question about nukes, right? And nukes is another one. Fear, 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 right? Nuclear war. Remember the 80s, like all these movies like The Day After and all of this, and then hide under your desk, right? Duck and roll. All this fear, but there's no proof of nuclear weapons. Even the nuclear tests that they put out videos for in the 50s, it's just all models. And it's so easy to see that now. Like it's all just a fake story. It's all fear. And the bad thing about fear is if you follow it and you believe it, it's going to put you in fight or flight. It's going to stress you out, and you're probably going to create some bad, experiences for yourself. But the good thing about fear is you can ignore it because all it is false evidence appearing real. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think all the wars were? What do you think about Japan? How did they end up with fully built out cities of masonry, right? Within less than 100 years, right? Because they were built out in the early 1900s. How did that happen? Let me know your thoughts. And thanks for joining me. If you are enjoying this video, please do give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave your comments and hype it up if you have the ability. I would really appreciate it. That was a big animal, man. Moose are big. Like it was literally bigger than his car. Oh my gosh, I've never seen one in, real life. Of course, I'm from Australia, but I did notice it was brown. Does that make it a chocolate moose?
Did you know that the name that your parents gave you at birth determines when and how you become wealthy in this lifetime? Your numerology name number is determined by the name that you were given at birth. All that you need to do is add a single-digit number between 1 and 9 to every single letter in your name. The number that is assigned to each letter is decided through a mathematical equation. I will spare you from the math and just give you the chart that shows you what number is attached to every single letter. So save this video so you can come back to it and calculate your name number properly. This is an example of what that looks like using just a random name. John, name, Doe. Obviously, you would replace that with your actual name. But as you can see, under each letter in the name is a single-digit number. Once you've got all of your numbers, you're going to add them together individually. This is going to give you a double-digit or triple-digit number, and you're going to want to reduce this again to a single-digit number. And when I say reduce, I just mean add the numbers together to get a single digit. So here you can see it equaled 50. So you would take 5 plus 0, 5 plus nothing is 5. This person's name number would be 5. The only time you don't reduce a number is when it's a master number. This is a repeating number, 11, 22, or 33. I want you to let me know in the comments what your name number is after you've calculated it. Now, your name number is also known as your destiny number. It shows you your natural gifts and strengths and what comes easiest for you. It shows you the type of success that you are built for, personally. It shows you how you express yourself and the vibe that people feel from you. It also shows you your life lessons and your challenges. It also shows you areas that you might be weaker in. And these are things that you should be avoiding. Overall, your destiny number shows you the energy that you are meant to be embodying. And when you're not in line with this number, that is when you're going to find friction and you're going to feel stuck and stagnant. That's why a lot of the time when people find out their numbers, like their life path number or their destiny number, they say, well, that's not me. I'm not successful. I don't do those things. It's because you're not aligned. And when you're not aligned, you're not going to draw in success because you're not working within your energetic strengths. And the truth is, until you start working within your energetic strengths, you start understanding your numerology, your astrology. These are cheat sheets. These are guides to take you where you need to be and help you find success. And until you find alignment, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to keep repeating the same cycles and you're going to keep wondering why you never get ahead in life. I would say probably 7 out of 10 people never truly find alignment and they live a life where they stay stuck and they feel miserable. If you want to be one of the 3 out of 10 people that actually finds alignment and gets ahead in life, I would highly suggest checking out this free numerology report that I have in my profile. All you have to do is go right here. This is going to do all the work for you. You put in your information, sit back, relax, and listen. That's going to bring you to this page. You go here where it says free numerology report. I also have this book that I wrote that's called Wealth by the Numbers, Your Energetic Blueprint for Success. You can download it as an ebook right here as well. What this does is it shows you how to align your life with your life path number so that you can draw in abundance and success and create some wealth for yourself. The longer you wait, the longer you're going to feel stuck and nothing's going to change. You have to start taking action and aligning yourself properly with the right energy and the right frequency and the right vibe. You just need to start taking steps forward. Stop sitting around thinking about it, wondering what you should do. I'm giving you a path. And the first step that I've given you is free. You might as well check it out. Make sure you like this video and follow me for more numerology. It's time to wake up, y'all. Stay blessed.
There you go. That was Sacronaut or Sacronaut, Sacro Naut, Naut, on what's it called, TikTok. If you want to grab that free book, I think I'm going to download it. Can't hurt, right? Have a bit of a read. But what do you think about numerology? Do you know much about it? Are you a numerologist? Let me know. What have your results been, for yourself or for clients if you teach it? Because I believe everything's energy and frequency. And I believe that, it's provable, right, that we see frequency in all these different expressions, right? We see it as color, we hear it as sound, we see it as geometry and numbers, right, as well. The numbers sort of show us the map of the frequency. That's my thoughts on it anyway, but let me know yours. But, this is what I think we could be missing with this whole manifestation thing, right? People are always trying to manifest, but it definitely doesn't seem to be a model that works for most people, right? Some people can do it sometimes, but as far as people constantly manifesting exactly what they want, I haven't seen much evidence of that. And is this why? Is this because we're doing things at the wrong time? We're not in sync, right? We're not in flow with the natural energies. And if we could work out how to get in flow, would that change our results, and dramatically so? What do you think? I'm definitely going to give it a go. And again, my main channel is Autodidactic. Link below. We've just actually done 2 podcasts talking about numbers and numerology and the difference between the numbers in nature, right, that we see. We see things like the Fibonacci scale, right, in plants, the way they grow. We see the golden ratio, pi, phi, all this stuff. And then we have the 2D world where we are at the moment, and it can only count to 1. Right, it's binary code 0101. That's it. So I believe that we need to get in sync with nature more, and if we do, and we understand where we fit into it, will that drastically affect our results? What do you think? But definitely let me know if you've done this, if you've tried, and any modality, I Ching, horoscope, life numbers, all this stuff. Let me know your results.
It takes 18 months to 3 years for one pineapple to grow. So how are the supermarkets full of pineapples? How is that? How is there enough pineapple to put on pizza? How is there enough pineapple to put in restaurants? How is there enough pineapple for pineapple juice? Huh? Can somebody explain this? You see, guys, something to think about. Sometimes you gotta think beyond your thoughts. But in order to do that, you gotta have a clear mind. You gotta be disconnected from the matrix. That told you that when you went to that store to buy that pineapple, it was real. Of course it's real. That's why it's in the store, bro. I just bought a pineapple yesterday. Official. Shut up! But you see, we're not worried about things like that, guys. We're worried about the next game and when it's coming on, right? We're worried about tomorrow's forecast, right? We're worried about what we're going to eat for dinner, right? We're worried about people that don't worry about us, right? We're worried about all the wrong things. Do you understand what I'm talking about, guys? So the next time you go into the supermarket to buy a pineapple, pick up one for me. What about the other fruits? What about that? It's unlimited, right? How many shut up! Listen, entertainment purposes only, guys. I just came from the grocery store and they had a whole bunch of pineapples. And I just got 3 of them downstairs. I should have showed y'all, but I'm upstairs. Let me know what you think, guys. I want to hear it. I'm out.
Yes, entertainment purposes only, YouTube. Pineapples, and I've covered this topic quite a bit. The food topic, not just pineapples. Where's all the food coming from? We've covered meat. Where's all the meat and the chicken coming from? There don't seem to be enough cows, right? Or sheep or chickens on the realm to keep all these fast food businesses stocked up, and then you've got all the restaurants, right? And then you've got all the supermarkets and all the products that come from it. And then with cows, you've got dairy as well, right? We need twice as many. And then there's the vegetables. Again, I've done this on the podcast, tartariaustralia.com, link below. Where does all the fruit and vegetables come from? When was the last time you drove past a carrot farm? All right, because I live on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, and this is pineapple country. We have the big pineapple is literally like 30 minutes from me, right? It's a tourist attraction. It's a pineapple farm. And that's probably the biggest pineapple farm that you'll see around here. Like, this is literally pineapple country, but we don't see many pineapples being grown. So where are they all coming from? We've got tin pineapple, pineapple juice, pineapple on pizza, all the cocktails that use pineapples. A lot, right? A lot. But where's it all coming from? Like you said, these are interesting questions to ask. They've got us wondering, about, oh my God, are there aliens coming from light years away to invade us? Oh my God, is World War III going to happen? What's Trump doing? Is he taking over Greenland? Oh my God. But maybe we just need to ask, where are the pineapples coming from? Because the more you ask, I won't call them basic, but questions that are more everyday, I guess, right? Like, about where does all this stuff come from that we live our lives around and just take for granted. If we ask these questions, the world suddenly starts to really look like a stage, because there's just not enough pineapples, not enough produce being created, at least above ground, that we can see. So what's the answer? Is it all being grown under lights underground? Is it all fake? I've definitely done videos showing the fake food, right? There's a factory where they make fake eggs. And I'm not kidding. Right? You can find it. It's definitely in some of my videos. And all the fake meat that's coming out, and other, watermelons that are exploding. I mean, just weird stuff, right? So I think that's a good question to ask. What is our food and where's it actually coming from? Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Have you driven past a pineapple farm or any other kind of produce farm that looks like it could be supplying your area? Like, is there enough? I mean, even if you do see an orchard or a vegetable farm, how much is it producing? Right? Because every time you go into a supermarket, they're full with fresh food. And that's not even taking into account how much gets thrown away as well, right? It's a bit of a crazy rabbit hole, the whole food disclosure thing.
In 2007, Al Gore predicted Arctic sea ice would be gone by 2014. Almost 20 years have passed since then, and Arctic sea ice extent is sitting about where it was when that prediction was made. While in the southern hemisphere, Antarctic sea ice is currently 10% higher than on the same date in 1997. Despite the catastrophizing headlines, decades of observations reveal no collapse. Arctic sea ice shows no trend for 18 years now, while Antarctic sea ice has grown since 1997. But any day now, isn't that right, Guardian?
Global warming, the big scare campaign that they use to tax us and take away our rights, right? But it's an interesting one, right? Global warming. They put it out there. They scared everyone. Al Gore, remember, he toured the world with his movie that he made. And what happened? Nothing. And so they had to change the name to climate change because clearly nothing was warming. And it was interesting that at that time this was all going on, all the millionaires and billionaires and politicians and stars were still buying houses on the ocean that we were told would be flooded within like a decade. Nothing happened. And it's an interesting name, isn't it? Al Gore. Al Gore rhythm. I wonder if he dances. Does he have rhythm? I don't know. But do you believe in global warming? Do you believe in this? I mean, clearly we've got climate change, right? That's the only change is the only constant. All the climate ever does is change. And now we have all this stuff, geoengineering, right? Lines in the sky, weather manipulation, basically. And we're seeing it everywhere, right? Like, again, on the Sunshine Coast, man, we haven't had a normal summer for like 5 years in Australia in general. Used to be long, hot summers. They're gone, right? You get a couple of days warm and then it's clouds come in and, just completely change the whole climate, right? Drop the temperature, bring in the humidity, like it's completely manufactured, right? So one, are they doing that to try and push their climate change agenda, do you think, so they can bring in more control measures and stop more cows from farting and charge us taxes, right? Now, this is what all of this stuff we're seeing is predicated on, right? Is that we're destroying the planet and they need to suppress us and give us more rules and steal more money and that will save it. All right. But what do you think? Is it real? Is there any realism to it at all? Do you believe it? And if so, why? Because I clearly don't. And the reason is everything they've said has not come true. Every single prediction they've made, none of it's come true. None of it. None of it. And now with all this climate change that we do see, we can pretty much prove that all of it is created by governments and technocrats. So it's a strange realm we find ourselves in, right? And it's getting stranger all the time. But the question is it natural or is it imposed? Is it created? Is it man-made? Let me know your thoughts below.
This is the calm before the storm.
Local officials from all over the country warned of a massive winter storm.
And the risks are so intense that as I'm standing here right now, I'm declaring a state of emergency throughout the entire state of New York.
The storm of the century, it's here. It's coming to get us. Are you in the USA? What are you seeing? Because I've definitely seen videos, right? We saw the empty shelves in the shopping centers. I've seen other videos like that. I've seen snow on the beach in Florida. Crazy. I've been to Florida. Florida's hot, man. It's like tropics. It's very close to the equator. How are they even getting snow on the beach? It makes no sense. Makes no natural sense, right? If someone's messing with things, using certain facilities that may, be like musical instruments, maybe like harps, those kind of facilities, then they could be creating this, right? It's interesting. They start off with global warming, right? The world's going to explode into fire, and it's all our fault. And now it seems to be global cooling, right? All we're getting is all these cold snaps everywhere. So what are they doing? Is this just confusion? Have they like thrown away global warming for climate change, climate cooling? It's just more propaganda and more fear for starters. But I'm not saying that nothing's happening. I definitely don't think it's natural. But if you are in the USA, let me know, because the figures that they're quoting is 172 million people will be affected, which is about half the people in the USA. So, are you there, and have you been affected? I've got friends there, and definitely some have told me that it is, cooler where they are this time of year, and they're getting snow and stuff. But I haven't heard of any massive reports of big storms, right? All of that kind of stuff comes through the 2D world, through the screen. And again, we've got to not believe everything that flashes up before our eyes. We've got to get at least 3 points of view before we can actually make a decision, right? Before we can get our own perspective. And that's just to start getting a perspective, right? The more points of view you can get, the better. But I'll be interested to see what happens with this storm, because it's being pumped, right? Everywhere. Oh my God. Devastation, not the apocalypse, because that's the unveiling, but the end of the world is nigh, right? The end of the world's always coming, just never seems to get here. But I have seen a lot of videos of Americans saying they don't believe this, like they're done, like they've been lied to so many times about all these weather events, and we all have, right? Every time, when they really, really push the propaganda and the fear, nothing happens. And then when they say nothing, boom, right? A big event, a big storm, whatever, hurricanes, tsunamis will hit and cause destruction. So it seems to be their playbook, right? They get us all scared and nothing happens. And then when we're just not ready for it, don't have our supplies, boom, we get hit. So what do you think? Is this more propaganda? I mean, we're going to find out pretty soon, right? It's imminent, apparently. But do you think this is just more propaganda? Do you think it's real and they're actually trying to help us? These government people and the news and the corporations, they're trying to help us, right? Letting us know what's coming so we can get all organized. Or is it that they just need to sell more camping gear, more tinned food, so they tell everyone to get supplies? What do you think? And are you in the USA, and what has your experience been? Let me know in the comments.
Do you think that men can get pregnant?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
There are many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women.
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
let me just remind you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So, can men get pregnant? You're a doctor.
I agree. Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
no, yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding.
Oh my God. All the world is a stage, and it's turned into a comedy. We've been seeing this kind of ridiculousness now for 5 years. But let me know, do you think men can get pregnant? And, again, it's all part of the show. Like, these people aren't actually making decisions. Clearly, if these people were actually making the decisions for what's going on in the world, like, we'd be cooked. Right? These people, I'm sure half of it's an act, but I'm sure a lot of them are just, this is what they're indoctrinated into, and they believe what they're saying, right? Like, oh my God, I can't even think about what must be happening in their mind, and that's probably because nothing, right? But it's crazy. This is how crazy the world's got. But I do just want to say that, that politician, the man who apparently might be able to get pregnant, I'm not sure what his name is, but when we see clips like that, we're like, oh yeah, well he's a smart guy. He's standing up. He's trying to get stuff sorted out. We don't know that, right? This is what we've got to keep in mind. We don't know that. Sure, he could be. I'm not saying that he's definitely not. I'm saying I don't know. Could be good, could be bad, could be all part of the show, right? But I do also believe that there are people, men and women with good hearts that are in these corporations and these governments and all this kind of stuff. Um, the problem is they believe that you can create change through government, right? You can vote your way to a better society, which I do not believe. I've never ever seen any evidence of that ever in my whole life. All I've ever seen is lying politicians who lie at elections. They promise all this stuff and then they never do it. Right? They might do 10% if you're lucky. The rest gets not done, gets forgotten about, and we get more laws and restrictions brought in every single time. So how people can still trust politicians, I don't know. Um, but clearly we still need some kind of government, right? Just much, much smaller. And we need actual men and women in there, not these beings, let's just say that. Because clearly not everyone's ready to take over, the running of their lives. Not everyone's responsible enough, right? Responsibility is what we need to get change in our own lives. We need to be the change we want to see. We need to be able to respond. Respondability is responsibility, in my opinion. But I really don't know what to say about that clip. It's just twists your brain, doesn't it, when they put stuff like that in front of us? But I think that, it's all part of the show, all part of the act. They're just trying to make us think that, oh my God, government's imploding. It's full of, very unintelligent people, very indoctrinated people. And we're given the two sides, right? Democrat, Republican in America. In Australia, it's Labor, Liberal, right? Every country, you've got two, right? Two polar opposites, right? And depending on where you sit, you're right and the other person's wrong. It's a lot like religion, isn't it? They even tell us they're right wing and left wing, don't they? Two wings, same bird. But it's good viewing, right? It's funny, I guess. But anyway, let me know what you think. How much of an agenda is all this stuff? Do you believe any of it? Like any of it anymore? It's literally getting harder and harder to believe anything that any of these people on the screen say. Apart from me, of course. I'm definitely a human, a man. Actually, if you're in Australia, I'm doing a show in Rockhampton, 28th of February. You can get your tickets on tartariaaustralia.com. Go and check it out. And we're actually doing 6 shows this year, and we're going to New Zealand. And I'm also going to Greece and Crete. We're going to take 20 or 30 people with us. I'll leave the link for that below too, if you're interested. Come and check it out. But this is the thing. I am real. I get out there and I meet people. But so many of these people, that are put up in front of us, the celebrities, right? Celebrated entities, the politicians, all these, fallen stars. You never meet them. You can never meet them. You never see them on the street. You can never, we don't even know if they're real or not. And the same with a lot of YouTube channels. And of course, now with AI, there's channels and you never even get to see the person. You don't. So how do we know if they're real or not? Life is getting very interesting in 2026. We've really got to start using our own faculties, right? Our own minds and our own discernment and start coming to our own conclusions because we can no longer trust really anything that comes through on the 2D world, as far as I'm concerned. And like I said, don't believe what I say. Make up your own decision, get your own facts, come to your own conclusions because self-education is the way forward. Not following gurus, not doing what everyone else is doing, because doing what everyone else is doing has gotten us to where we are. For things to change, things have to change. Sounds simple, right? But most people miss this very basic law. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, right? That's the definition of insanity, clearly. So if you want things to change something, change the way you think, change the way you walk, smile at more people, do something different, get another job, go on a holiday, do whatever. Just do something different that is leading you in the direction that you want your life to go. There you go. That's enough philosophizing from me. Thanks for spending some time with me, guys. I do appreciate you. Please, like I said, give me a like, subscribe if you haven't already, leave me comments, and thank you for everyone who does like the video up and everyone who's been leaving me comments. I do appreciate them. I get through as many as I can. There's obviously lots, of them, so I don't see them all, but it's not just for me, it's for the other people watching these videos. I can see that there's a lot of interaction. You're talking to each other. There's lots of likes and shares and with all the comments. So that's awesome. And I think this is, where the future lies, right? With us men and women and conversations and sharing our information, because we are all a piece of the puzzle. And have an amazing day and stay awesome, because you are. And I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.
Echo, come on. We're not getting another.
Okay, come inside. Larry, get in the house. I have to go out. Come on. You stubborn husky. Get inside. You're such a jerk sometimes.
No, stay outside.
Get out. Get out. Dad.
The people want to know. Can we get an a whoop? Thank you.
Say I love you. I love you.
Come here. Kieran, stop.
Stop arguing. Up. You're gonna get on your feet. Oh, I did it. Woohoo! Come on, this way. This way, come on. No.
Who did this? Blue, sit down. No, you're a bad boy. Blue, stop. Nobody. Blue, listen.
What the absolute fuck are you doing? Are you fucking kidding me?
Hey, Rory. Some lady on the internet says you're cold. You should probably come inside. You're not made for this cold weather. You gonna come in? Okay, you just stay there.
Playing fetch. Oh.
Ow, are you?
Oh.
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Get out and been for Cotton Eye Joe. I've been married.
Yes, bring it back. Yes, bring it back to me. Come here. I gotta deliver it back. Since you took it from me? No. No. Oh, I'm so fired.